Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be going through and restoring this old wine barrel that Nadine and I were given, and I thought what a better way of repurposing it and using it as two planters for some citrus trees. So I'll show you how to cut these wine barrels, how many bags of potting mix you'll need, and a good way of setting the barrel up for planting with some gravel and your holes for drainage and also some protection on the sides. So we'll get right to it, and I'll get into putting these rings back on, giving it a sand, and then I'll show you how to cut it. There's two ways of cutting it as well. There's a way of using just two sort of sleepers side by side running parallel, and then you run your saw through it, or using a garden trolley and using the wheels to allow you to turn the barrel as well. So stay tuned for that. All right, let's get into it. Attaching your 3 feet or your wheels or whatever you're doing, it's really simple, and it's actually even easier for wine barrels. So there's already a center line running straight through the center of the barrel where these two bits of timber boards, they line right up. Get your tape measure, and you want to find right in the middle of this line. Measure twice, cut once. 575. 575 divided by 2. Divided by 2, 287. 287.5. Get your tape, find the center, right there. So that's the center of this wine barrel. Then put 287.5. Put that on your protractor. Put your protractor on the outside of the wine barrel where you've measured from. Make sure it intersects the center of the wine barrel with that mark that you made with your tape measure. Go to the outside, make a mark, and you can probably already see I've already done it. Go to the other side, make another mark, get your ruler and your pencil, make a line. Probably see heaps of drawing on this now, it's embarrassing. Obviously you've got your line down the middle there, probably didn't have to draw that because you can see that line. Then get your wheels, and if you get the wheels with the brakes on them, you just have to allow for room for them to spin freely. So the beauty of this barrel, it's got this red line, so I'm just gonna stick in there, and then you can just measure the width of the wheel, the caster, and then get that into the center of that line you just drew, and that should be able to spin. I haven't screwed it yet, but yep, perfect. That spins freely there. That one can go there, that one can go there, and hello there. Look at that. 3 equally spaced wheels. So this will distribute the weight nice and equally, and it won't allow that rocking motion. You beauty, like you bought one. And then you'll be able to drill your drainage holes knowing you're not going to drill where you need to put the wheel. Cool as? Two stretchers here, 2 rails that allow the barrel to roll freely. In hopefully a full, what's that? Yeah, in a full circular motion. So all the way around, be able to cut it. Alrighty, now we got the barrel all sorted. We know we got this little roller system good to go. We got some wheels on. I just did some more holes, drainage holes on the bottom of this one. Now just to cut the center. So I've seen a few people get like a really thick bit of plastic, poke it in the hole, and then just roll it, and then hold it there and then mark it with their pencil, but I don't have one of them at the moment. I'm gonna stand it upright, and then now I've got the wheels on, I'll be able to just turn it and mark it as I go. So I'm just gonna measure to the middle of the cork hole. What's that, light hole? Now I've got my measurement, just going to go around, make some marks, and then get that flexible ruler, put it back on here, and then mark it all the way around. So I was in two minds about this. I was going to leave it all together and then wire brush it. Then I thought, oh, separate it, then wire brush it. But then I thought, nah, got it on this now. I'm just going to quickly give it a wire brush to take this blue sort of paint off it. I think it looks a bit daggy, so I'll get rid of that blue paint now around the metal straps. Yeah, we'll get into it. Probably should have done the ruler measuring after I wire brush it, but try not to come too close to the lines. Might have muddled that one up, but we'll worry about that later. So it's all wire brush now, and I think it looks really nice with the clear gel on it. The straps look really neat. I left a little bit of the old, must have been some sort of varnish to protect the barrel. I left a bit of that on there in spots, so I didn't want to get it completely clean. I think it looks a bit vintage in a way. What I thought really helped for me was this little chock, and it just helps control the position of the barrel when it's on the two rails. So what I'm going to do now is cut this bad boy. Got the circular saw. You are going to have to make a plunge cut, so just be careful when you're doing that. I'm pretty ropeable. I just looked up at the camera and the camera was dark, so I didn't hit record just before. But I'm a quarter of the way round at the moment, and it's working really well with the chock and the two rails. But you have to make a plunge cut, so I'm just going to move it a bit again and then just show you that cut that you'll have to make, and just take it really easy. Make sure your fingers are nice and clear, and I'll show you that now. So I'm finding that pretty easy with the circular saw and the chock system. I'll just continue going here with this cut for a bit longer just to show you just how easy it is. So as promised, I've made it all the way around half on the two rail sort of system with this chock, which I found really helpful in controlling the tempo and the speed that you want to go at as you pull the barrel towards yourself. So you're rolling it towards yourself, but I set the chock back to a distance that I thought was comfortable for me, and then I'd saw, and then the chock would stop me, and then I'd reassess, slide the chock back, and then continue going. So I'm going to get the garden trolley now and show you another way of how to cut your wine barrels. So as you can see there, the struggle was real. A second person would have been real handy, but it's all right. So as you can see, it just allows the barrel to spin, allowing you to continue your cut. So I just found with that one that I had a little less control of the barrel. You've really got to hold on to that saw. This is probably a two-person job. So I highly suggest a two-person job when you're lifting it onto the cart, but a two-person job as in to help you control the barrel as you're turning it and cutting the barrel as well. I find the rail system, the previous system, probably better with the chock, because I could control my cut, I could stop. I find that with the cart, you've just got that feeling of little less control with the cart. I don't know. I'll leave that up to you when you cut yours in half. Just trying to show you another way of doing the whole thing. So I'm just going to finish this off now. It's just going to fall open. So this will be the grand finale. I'm just going to take the sharp edges off around the sides, and on the top I'll take those burn marks off just with an 80 grit belt sander. Alright. Now the moment you've all been waiting for, I'm going to pot these up. First things first, let's put in our weed matting on the bottom just to stop the soil from getting out the drainage holes. Alright, the next thing I like to do before I put the fly mesh or the shade cloth that I've got over the top of the holes, then add the gravel, is I'll cut some hessian and then I'll line that around the edges on the inside and let it drape over the top of the stones. This allows to keep a separation between the drainage in the bottom and the soil. And how I measure the hessian up is I just start on the outside of the barrel and then I just drape it all the way around and then I just cut down there. So now we've got our mesh in the bottom to protect the drainage holes. Got the drainage material, the stone, over the top of the mesh to keep that mesh nice and clean and not allow the soil to clog the drainage holes. Now I'm just going to put some hessian around the outside and then lap it over the top of the stones. And I'll do that by using a staple gun. It takes approximately 4 25 litre bags to fill a half wine barrel. Hot tip, put the bag in the barrel, slice it up the back. Alright, so that is what 4 25 litre bags of potting mix will look like in a half wine barrel. Looks pretty good to me. Move that soil to the side. Make sure that top of the plant is level with the sides. Just give the sides a little tap. It's already coming out. I'm not going to even waste my time. Slide this. Oh, look at that. Not root bound, nothing. That is beautiful. Those roots look nice and lovely. Just a little massage on the bottom and place it in the center. Make sure that stake's nice and firm and then just slowly backfill. Nothing better than planting up your own fruit trees that you'll be able to enjoy later on in life. I always like to leave a little low spot, like a little dam around the edges of the citrus trees, just so the water goes in amongst those roots. And I fill that with mulch, which we'll get to in a sec. So mulch will protect the plant from drying out in the sunner. Oh, goodness. So mulch will protect your plant and keep it cool in the summer and keep that water where it needs to be and not getting evaporated so quickly. I haven't placed it on too thick, probably about a thumb depth. Going to fill that little well in, but maintain that well so when you water it, the water gets to where it needs to. Now, because I'm a bit of a one-man show gardener here, I'm going to show you how to move a full wine barrel after you've been planting it with a trolley and a strap. Ho, ho, ho. One man, wine barrel mover, a presto. So at the end of it all, you give your plant some fertilizer, and this is a new one that I'm getting into. They're just normally a cap full. I always go with the power feed, and I always get it without a doubt. I spill it everywhere, and then the shed ends up smelling like seaweed. But anyway, I always go with the power feed and the sea salt mix, a cap of each in the 9 litre watering can, and just go by the recommendations on the back of what to do. really hope you enjoyed the video today. Thanks again, and stay tuned for my next one coming out. If you haven't missed my last video, I planted a tree for Father's Day, and I go through a bit of the process of what I do there for some native trees in my backyard. So hope you enjoyed that one too if you happen to pass by that. So thanks again, see you in the next one.